Netflix! Hey, how's it going? Haven't had to talk about you in a while, since Violet Evergarden. Still a very good show. By the by, how you been? Oh, you have some news. Why? Man, that was unexpected. So, in the last, 48 hours, Netflix has come forward with two major pieces of news, and they are so big that I'm like, no, I have to talk about this, because a simple Twitter thread will not get my thoughts out on this in any way, shape, or form properly. So, first thing, good news. And this is not just personal opinion, this is just flat out good news. I can't think of any negative way to take this except maybe in some bigger picture sort of way. Netflix has gained streaming rights to Neon Genesis Evangelion. Holy shit. Evangelion has been out of print, unavailable for North American audiences for over 10 years. Something that is kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, considering Evangelion's popularity here in the West, but for whatever reason, the show has been unavailable for the longest time, and now, suddenly, Netflix is like, yeah, hey, Evangelion, there you go. Now, I don't consider myself a general expert in this particular topic. I have had discussions with people over the years trying to figure out why Evangelion has or has not ever made its way back over here. Because after its license expired, I would have thought, and most people probably would have thought a number of years back, that every company here in the West would have wanted to get the actual rights to Evangelion. It's a slam dunk property to have. Yes, one of the most popular anime of all time. Yes, every single company would want that piece of pie. But it was always kind of this weird curiosity as to why no one ever picked it up. Funimation was able to pick up the rights to the Rebuild films, and they dubbed those as time went on, even though there was some interesting delays on 3.0, and now, 4.0 probably is not going to happen. But no other company really picked it up, so you could tie this down to possibly one of two things. One, money. Whether it's Gainax or some other entity that owns the full rights to Evangelion over in Japan, they know what it's worth. They know exactly what it's worth, and they probably put a very high price tag on the streaming rights for this series. A high enough tag that maybe no company was willing to pay for what they were gonna get. Funimation probably wasn't willing to pay it, Crunchyroll wasn't willing to pay it. It's very possible that money was the issue. The other thing that could have been the issue is either relationships or, Hideaki Anno. It's very possible that Funimation or Crunchyroll just didn't have the inward connections to start the negotiations to get the rights in the first place. Considering Funimation was able to get the Rebuild films, it seems kind of weird again, but these things do happen. But the bottom line is that now Netflix has cut through all of that tape, and holy crap, Evangelion is coming to the States again. Well, not just the States, all of North America. I don't know why I say the States, because I'm from Canada, and I should probably have that as my default, but I know that, the vast majority of my audience is American, and I'm just kind of having to own that. So that is the absolute good news. There's nothing bad about that news. Having access to Evangelion without having to go and dive for those old premium collection sets that are ridiculous prices, or do what I had to do and buy the tin. Never buy a tin ever. But that would have just been it. And I was even thinking yesterday that I was just going to do a video and just talk about that, because that was kind of important, but I was kind of hemming and hawing, and then I had a big ass fever yesterday, so that just didn't happen. But then, lo and behold, Netflix was like, you like that news, eh? Well, we have some other anime news to share. Netflix is producing a live-action Cowboy Bebop series. Boy! So, okay. I don't even know where to go with this, because I know the knee-jerk reaction is to be extremely pessimistic about this and to be extremely negative. And can you blame me? No, you really can't. Hollywood has a very bad track record for adapting anime into live action. Netflix themselves have done these things before, and we know how that turned out last time. So, thinking that this is obviously going to be a good thing is not something I'm willing to say. So really, what we know, right? We know three things, right? Three things about this Cowboy Bebop adaptation. One, it's happening and Netflix is producing it. Now, that is not necessarily an indicator of its quality. A lot of Netflix things have been very well produced. There is a lot in the Netflix kind of wheelhouse that has been very, very well done. But, you know, not everything that they've made has all been that great. Number two is that Shinichiro Watanabe is being brought on as a consultant. Now, there are positives and negatives to this. Positive side, having Shinichiro Watanabe attached to this project in any way could generally be seen as a good sign. What worries me with that, and what I want to be pessimistic about, because I can't force myself to be optimistic about it, is the fact that he's only a consultant. Because that's the thing. Consultants don't really have a lot of power, because you just consult with them. You don't have to listen to them. Now, the positive spin I can think to put on this is that he is in the consultant position of his own accord, potentially. Like, Bebop hasn't been touched since the film came out, and this is getting close to like 20 years now, so it's very possible that Watanabe really doesn't want to be fully involved in another Bebop production. And so he's just in the consulting thing so that he can just kind of, you know, be there to step in if need be. Otherwise, maybe perhaps he would have been on as a producer or an executive producer or something like that. That's me being optimistic about it. The pessimistic side of me, though, is thinking that he's just kind of there to placate people in the same way that Production IG was a consultant on the Ghost in the Shell film, and we know how that turned out, too. The third thing that came out, the third thing that we know for sure, is that Episode 1 is being written by a writer whose name I don't actually remember at the at the top of my head. I'll put it down here, and he was the writer for Thor Ragnarok. Now, this has both a kind of a neutral thing and a somewhat positive thing, maybe. The neutral thing is Buddy Writer. Thor Ragnarok was a really good film. I enjoyed that a lot, and there are a lot of sci-fi elements in it. It is a lot goofier than Bebop, so I just hope that he doesn't decide to do the same thing, but I wouldn't expect that of a writer. I'd like to think that, yeah, no, they will take the universe of Bebop into account when they do their writing, and that's a pretty good thing. So I actually think that him as a writer is a fairly neutral thing, nothing very positive or negative about it. The interesting thing, though, is that it said Episode 1, which kind of infers there's going to be a Episode 2 and 3, and so on. So then it 100% confirms that this is not a film, it's a series, which changes things. Now, the problem is that we don't know anything else beyond that. This was actually, personally, I'd like to say that this was a very bad announcement to make, because there's nothing in it to really help us get a grip on what this production is going to be like. So all that's left for us to do is make assumptions, which isn't always the best thing to do, and try and hope. There's a lot of hoping here. Now, there is a lot of reading between the lines. We do have a whole slew of names of people attached as executive producers. There's a lot of people from Midnight Radio and, of course, Sunrise itself that are attached as executive producers on this project. So potentially it could be a good thing, but it really comes down to who is the one in charge, or what is the group of people in charge that is overseeing the narrative of this series. We don't necessarily know. We can just guess based on who is currently attached to it. It is extremely easy to be pessimistic on this project. Extremely easy. Everyone's going to be pessimistic. Everyone's going to shoot this down. So, what can I do to be positive? I can have hope in basically one thing. So, Netflix, hey, buddy Netflix, if you're listening, if you watch this at all, which I don't expect, but if you do, I just want one thing. One thing. I want to know one piece of information. And the answer to this piece of information, the answer to this question, will determine, literally, my entire thought process on this project. Right? Because this one thing, in my mind, will make or break your project. It's not your actors, which most people would probably think is a pretty big deal. And it is a big deal. Who you're going to cast as these characters, the crew of the Bebop, is a very big thing. They will make or break your project, but there is one position on this whole thing that is so much more important, at least in my mind. Who's your composer? Follow-up, why is it not Yoko Kanno? Now, of course, that's me assuming that it's not going to be Yoko Kanno, but let me just tell you, Netflix, if you get Yoko Kanno, right? If you get Yoko Kanno, I will not care how dog shit this product is. Now, let me explain why. Really? Okay, because Yoko Kanno's music is so good that if the show is bad, if the show is not a great adaptation, if it is barely popcorn material, I won't care, because it means that it helped to facilitate a new Yoko Kanno album, especially in the style of Bebop. My God, I won't care. I won't care. I won't care who's cast. I won't care if you bring in Keanu Reeves and Terry Crews and whoever the hell else to cast as everybody. I will not care if the entire film is just them talking about bell peppers and beef. I won't. Not at all. If Yoko Kanno is the one creating the music behind the scenes, I'm done. I'm good. I'm sold. That's all I need. But if it's not going to be Kanno, that leads to some interesting questions, because with Cowboy Bebop, the music is so important. Bebop is in the name, so you can't just throw anyone onto this. You can't at any point think that the music on this project is an afterthought. Oh God, please do not ever consider the music to be an afterthought. Let it be a forefront. Get Yoko Kanno on, please. Like, it's great that you have Watanabe as a consultant. That's great. Get Yoko Kanno. Pay her whatever you need to attach her to this project, because then that's it. That's all you need. That is literally it. You get Kanno, and I won't care about anything else. Anything whatsoever. But we don't know who they have for the music yet, and you know, it's possible we might not ever find out until the show comes out and we can actually see the credits rolling. I'd like to think that if they did get Kanno, that they would announce it as soon as they have that confirmed, because that's kind of a big deal to let us know this. But, you know, I'm not expecting them to, because that's not the way that Hollywood generally works. It would be great if they had Yoko Kanno and brought her in as the music, but it's far more likely they're going to get someone from the West to do the music for this production, which I'm not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying that that just won't help me deal with my anticipation of this project prior to its actual release. If you want me to be excited about it beforehand, that is a surefire way to do it. It's not, no, do that, please. And, you know, I could just be like, yeah, it'll be good. Or I could be more like, it doesn't matter if it's good. That's kind of the other thing, is that it kind of doesn't matter that it's good. Ghost in the Shell came out last year. It was an okay film. It wasn't a great groundbreaking film, but I was okay with it. There are many different adaptations of Ghost in the Shell. There's different versions, and you can kind of pick and choose which one you want and which one you like. You know, me being a giant fan of Ghost in the Shell does not mean that I am going to defend Ghost in the Shell Arise or anything, right? I'm not going to do that. It's okay. It's just okay. And same with the film. It's just okay. It has some high points. It has some down points. It's just okay. I don't have to love it just because it's Ghost in the Shell. And I feel like with Bebop, it'll be the same thing. I'm thinking that it's probably just gonna be just okay. But we'll have to see. So if you stuck it around all the way until the end, thank you for doing that. Let me know what you think down in the comments, or, you know, message me on Twitter. And we'll maybe have a talk about that to try and figure out what's going to happen with this project. I'd like to be hopeful. At the very least, Netflix, thank you for Evangelion. That is so great, and it means I don't have to lend out my DVDs anymore. Also, hey, if you get it in Blu-ray, my God, that'd be great. Also, hey, if you could, like, get the physical release rights, or if you already have them, and just let us know that you're going to release Evangelion on Blu-ray, that'd be great. Please, thank you. But, you know, that's might be a bit too much to ask. So that's it from me. Until next time, watch more anime. Ugh. And stay frosty. I want to be hopeful. I want to be hopeful. I want to be hopeful. Oh, right.